So, what is it like to be an extroverted sensor? If y'all don't know, I'm an istp. If you don't see in my title of my channel, I mean, just because I changed it or something, but I'm an istp. I have SC as my second function. Also, I admire SC users, especially SC doms and stuff. I admire other SC users, you know what I'm saying? Mainly, like, people give an oversimplified description for the sensing functions. They SI and SE get oversimplified. Not so much SE, but SI definitely gets simplified a lot. But SE does too, especially by intuitives, you know, the intuitive bias thing, right? But so basically, like, being an SE user, it's a lot more. It's not that. I mean, there's an assumption that intuition is more advanced than sensor functions, which isn't true. They're just different from each other. An intuitive describing extroverted sensing, yeah, they might think it's basic compared to intuition because their extroverted sensing or their introverted sensing is less developed than their own intuition, so it causes them to assume that it's more basic than it is. So people will try to do that. So I'll tell you one thing, being an extroverted sensor is very enjoyable. Like, it's very easy to enjoy life when you're an extroverted sensor. It's just because we are living it's easy for us to live in the present moment and enjoy the present moment and make the most out of the present moment. Yeah, like, I know that, for example, most SFPs I've dated, they usually like to do simple things, which it's weird, it's kind of different. Like, I wouldn't say it's different, but they like to just sit at the house with you, you know what I'm saying? And just enjoy the moment as opposed to going out, like, especially ISFPs. As opposed to doing like big extravagant things and, you know, all the time. They like to do that, but a lot of times they just like to enjoy the moment. But I'll tell you one thing, like, extroverted sensing is like, we notice little things. Like, I know as an extroverted sensor, I notice little things like details. I see a lot of details. Like, I pick up, like, it's strange. Like, extroverted sensor, we actually do pick up on, like, I don't know, I say certain objects give off, like, people, but we do pick up on vibes in a way. You know what I'm saying? I know this doesn't sound like what people usually say, but we do pick up on vibes and stuff. I think it's more of a thing, like, subconsciously, we pick up on vibes, but when you're an extroverted sensor, when you're looking at everything in the environment, or you're in the present moment a lot, you pick up on the pressure, like when it comes to vibes, like, as an extroverted sensor, when people have different vibes, it's like giving off different energy, like pressure, like certain objects give off certain pressure, which is a vibration. I don't know, maybe that's me, but as a extroverted sensor, we pick up on body language, we pick up on facial expression real well. We look at people, we pick up on little things. Like me as an extroverted sensor, I know when something is different about somebody. I know when something is a little off about somebody very quickly, very easily. And from there, I can figure out what it is. So it's very interesting. It's interesting what you see, what you observe as an extroverted sensor. We usually observe a lot of interesting things, we have interesting perspective. Yeah, like extroverted sensors, we like relevant information, we like important information. We don't like too much information. Like, intuitives are not big on relevant information. Extroverted sensors are. We are big on relevant information, important things. We don't want to waste our time. We don't necessarily like to, I say, explore the idea for the sake of the idea. Well, we do, but it's like, if we are exploring the idea for the sake of the idea, we want the important thing. We don't want all the information. We kind of work backwards from the way intuitives work. We kind of like to get to the point, you know what I'm saying? Intuitives they don't like to get to a point right away. They like to get their minds going and not to entertain their mind before they get to the point. So it's a little different from y'all. It's not nothing better or worse. Another thing about being extroverted sensitive is extroverted sensitive, like we're in our body so much. So when we end up doing, like, this is why we tend to be good at sports. We're in our body so much that when it comes to sports, extroverted sensitive know how to push our bodies to the limit, and we have good body mapping and stuff like that. A lot of other factors play into sports, of course, but extroverted sensitive, we pretty much rule the sports world. Every function rules a part of society. Like extroverted sensitive, I think we rule celebrity, like the entertainment world, and I think we rule the sports world. Like most of my friends I've known, like, through playing sports. I got one friend who is, right now, he's ranked #1 hurdler in the United States. He just recently got ranked. He had a race a few weeks ago. Spoke to him, and he's ranked #1. I ran track with him. His name is Aaron Mallett, if you guys want to Google him, but he's #1 and he's #3 in the world. But yeah, he's an ISFP. I know him personally. You know, so I went to school with him. Used to sit together at lunch, you know, stuff like that. Ran track with him. He's an ISFP. One thing I know is about him, when he is practicing his, you know, he's doing hurdles, he takes it a step above his competition. Like, he knows how to, he doesn't miss a second. You know what I'm saying? Like, most of the greatest athletes I've known were extroverted sensitive. Like, I've known, had some good friends that was extroverted sensitive. It's something about being extroverted sensitive where you just know how to, you know your body so well, so you end up knowing how to get an edge over your competition. You know what I'm saying? It's just from being in your body so much. It's just something that's natural. You know what I mean? Like, for me, I don't want to sound like I'm bragging, but I'm very good at, we usually have a certain aspect, of course, too, that we tend to be good at, but we also, but anyway, like me, I've always specialized in vertical jumping. You know, I have over 40-inch vertical. I have around like 43, 44 inches. I'm trying to break that plateau. But yeah, I've broken records. If y'all know, I'm OC's player. I'm not on no team, but I played in TBT, the basketball tournament. You know, I've broken records. Like, there's something I just know how to push my body to the limit with, is vertical jumping. Yeah, I don't really know how to push my body to the limit with that. So yeah. Also, another thing with being extroverted sensitive is we have extroverted sensitive charm. Extroverted sensitive is naturally charming. What makes it so charming? I don't know. It's really like living in the moment. When you're living in the moment, like extroverted sensitive, you know how to make the most out of the moment. Extroverted sensitive is a people function. You know what I'm saying? The two main people functions are extroverted feeling and extroverted sensitive. So, I mean, extroverted sensitive charm comes with that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's something that comes with it. But that's just, I mean, that's the best I can explain what it's like to be an SCU. It's very hard to explain. Like, I don't know, it's real hard to explain the extroverted sensitive. But yeah, it's really just, it's kind of like, based on adrenaline rushes, it's based on like we really care about having a good time. You know what I'm saying? Like, extroverted sensitive, like, we're really laid back. We like having a good time. We don't like to be too uptight. Like, I know me, on my free time, I can't be too, like, I need a couple days where I can just relax, where I can just do something fun. You know what I'm saying? I can't work 24/7. I'm a person, I can't work 24/7, or I'll start to, I'm a very hard worker. Like, I'm intense. I get 100% into my work, but I can't work. I have to have some time, some off time, like, to relax. I don't like doing boring things either. Like, for me, like, having a career, it has to be something I enjoy. It can't be something boring. Extroverted sensitive, we get bored real quickly. You know what I'm saying? doing mundane things. Like I was diagnosed with it wasn't an official diagnosis, but I talked to a counselor and they said I have ADHD. So yeah, a lot of us get diagnosed with ADHD because we just like to do stuff. We like to move around. Because we're in our body, so we like to move around and stuff like that. We don't like to just sit and just do nothing. Most extroverted senses. But like with attention to detail, we can also be good at art. You know what I'm saying? Be very artistic. Especially SFPs, but it's also possible. Like I'm artistic too. I'm not like in the way that I'm artistic. I just like to make stuff that look nice. I'm not much into painting. I hate painting. But I'm pretty creative. I'm very creative. Extroverted sensitive also is very creative. People don't want to like a lot of people make it seem like intuitive functions are creative. Actually, extroverted sensitive is also creative. The thing about extroverted sensitive creativity, we're creative in the moment. You know what I'm saying? We don't have these like ideas and like with extroverted sensitive, we have to be in the moment to be creative. But we're extremely creative. Like if an extroverted sensitive is an artist, as soon as they had that idea, we gotta put it down. We can't wait and then okay, I'll do it later because we'll forget about it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's another aspect. And one last aspect I want to bring about being an extroverted sensitive. Extroverted sensitive are great manifestors. What does that mean? That means that usually when an extroverted sensitive, it's strange. Like it's the strangest thing ever, especially when we develop our intuition a little bit, right? Intuitive function. Like for SC dimes or like their last function, when they use their intuition just a little bit, that one idea that they had in their intuition gets brought to life very quickly because they're not going to dwell on it too. If they're balanced, they're not going to dwell on it too much, and they're just going to be able to bring anything they want to reality very quickly. You know what I'm saying? Through their actions. Some like extroverted sensitive, we have a tremendous amount of willpower. We have willpower. So what is willpower? We basically can, but extroverted sensitive is focused on something, we can make it happen at any cost. Like we'll just find a way. We don't know how we're gonna make it happen, we just make it happen. Obstacle show up right here, we just go around the obstacle, keep going. You know what I'm saying? So with an extroverted sensitive focus is very powerful function to have if we're focused. I know with less balanced introverted senses, they tend to can get distracted very easily. Like I know extroverted senses that are not mature, they tend to get into petty arguments with people when they waste their energy getting into petty arguments with people often. With people who are relevant, they'll find themselves getting into petty arguments. They find themselves just wasting their energy on a lot of things that don't really matter because we just have a lot of energy usually. Extroverted senses that are balanced and mature tend to, they usually are just manifesting stuff, man. They usually are just making stuff happen. So that's just if you're an extroverted sensitive or if you know one, that's a good way to tell if they're balanced or if they're not balanced. If you know one that's not balanced, just remind them, it's great to remind them that the people or the things that they're doing are not important and they should not focus on them. That would be very helpful to extroverted sensitive because most extroverted sensitive are highly talented. Like extroverted sensitive are probably the most naturally gifted and talented. When it comes to physical things, we're very gifted and talented because we try a lot of things out. And through trying so many things out, we tend to be good at a lot of them. A lot of extroverted sensitive are great at picking up on things. Anything that has to do with your physical, well, not even always physical, but I think any type of like skill type thing, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, skill type thing, things that take a lot of practice to learn, we tend to pick up on them quite quickly. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, it's just like, it's great being extroverted. It's very enjoyable. Like it's easy to enjoy life if we're balanced. Because we just noticed all the good things. Well, if we're balanced, it's easy for us to be grateful for the present moment and stuff like that. So that's one of my favorite things about being an istp, being extroverted sensitive. So hope you guys learned something or got a good, got something from the video. But thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe for more content. And give me suggestions of what y'all want to see from me. Because it's hard to think of video ideas sometimes. And then suggestions help a lot. But thanks for watching.